Hello Internet, this is Sophia. Welcome to part 3 of my 4-part response to One Godless Woman's 4 questions for Third-Wave Feminists. In the video description area of this video, you should find a link to the YouTube location of part 1 of this presentation. On YouTube, I will keep the video description of part 1 up to date so that from there you can find all the other parts of this presentation that I have released. In part 2, I explained how even though the West is indeed way ahead of the Islamic world in the area of women's rights, as well as the rights of LGBTQI people and other marginalized groups, we are far from being in a place where feminism is no longer needed. And now, let us continue watching her video so that I can continue answering her questions.
Is there a reason you refuse to advocate for women in the Middle East? The women who their reality is that they could be beheaded for a crime like having sex outside of wedlock or the crime of being raped. Because you do know that this happens to us over there, right? If you are advocating and I have overlooked it, please forward to me your hashtags, your articles, and your videos where you are protesting and demonstrating on behalf of these women and their rights. These women who live in theocratic regimes.
It is true that my channel so far hasn't had any video that focused particularly on the injustices against women in the Muslim world, but there's a perfectly legitimate answer for why I haven't, and that is that my channel is very new, so I can say with full credibility that I just haven't gotten around to it yet. After all, I have stated the fact that while I oppose that oppression, there are many other things that I oppose as well. I think that I also have adequately justified why opposition to those other things is important to me too. Also, while I agree that I mustn't exempt Islamists from criticism, I think that it should be perfectly understandable why Islamists have not been my first target. They are not the ones who made my life in East Tennessee miserable and eventually altogether unsafe. It was their Christian counterparts here in the United States who did that to me. Also, I get kind of cynical when people criticize extremists of other stripes but turn a blind eye toward extremists from among their own people, and therefore would feel like a hypocrite if I were to do such a thing. This bumps criticism of Jewish extremists, not Islamic extremists, upward on my priority list, because though as far as religion goes, I am an atheist, ethnically and culturally I am Jewish. But I assure you, I am indeed critical of oppression wreaked in the Islamic world, and if my channel lasts long enough, you will see that criticism scathingly expressed here.
Question 3. How do we make you see us? And by us, I'm talking about the women like myself who escaped Islamist societies. And how do we make you listen to us when we try to warn you that it has now followed us to here?
As for other third-wave feminists who don't heed your warnings, all I can say is, when you figure out how to get them to listen, you let me know. As for me, I assure you that my ears are not deaf to such warnings. It may be true that I feel that you are underestimating the danger posed by extremists of religions other than Islam, but I do not for one moment think that you are wrong about or even exaggerating the dangers posed by Islamic Theocrats. Part of the reason why many feminists turn a blind eye to Islamic extremism is that Islamists have spent years, maybe even decades, ingratiating themselves to feminist circles in what I can only characterize as an infiltration. I've seen that happen. This is not only why so many feminists turn a blind eye to what you are warning people about. It has other consequences as well. I think that it is among the reasons why I, an unapologetic Zionist feminist, tend to be so politically lonely. There are a lot of us progressive Zionists out there. We oppose the very dangerous regimes of both Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu, as well as the oppression of LGBTQI people and the general mistreatment of women, whether in the Islamic world or anywhere else. That said, when we try to join others in the fight for these causes, we get excluded due to the fact that while we are open to criticizing Israel's government and policies, we are not willing to renounce our support for the existence of the Jewish homeland in Israel, nor support any measure that would inevitably bring about its destruction. Also, though we hold that no government, including that of Israel, should be immune to criticism, we are also not shy about calling it out when criticism received by Israel is based on hypocritical double standards and/or blatant misinformation. For that reason, we are frequently maligned as well. I strongly suspect that Islamic infiltration into the left is one of the reasons for all this. Of course, not all Muslims hate Israel. There are plenty of Muslim citizens of Israel who are very loyal to the State of Israel. They are loyal for a number of different reasons, but I strongly suspect that part of it is that they know that if their interpretation of Islam differs from that pushed by Islamic Theocrats, Israel is probably the one place in the Middle East where they have the greatest freedom to practice Islam as they see it. But Islamic Theocrats aren't interested in just peacefully practicing Islam themselves. They want Islam, their interpretation of it specifically, to have the power of state. Israel is what stands most in the way of them having that in the Middle East, so it is inevitable that they will hate Israel. But anyway, when you figure out how to get feminists who don't listen to your warnings about Islamists having come here to start listening, then I hope that you let me know. And while you're at it, if you figure out how I can get my fellow progressive Zionists to listen to what I have to say about how Islamists pulled off their infiltration and how to properly counter it, let me know the answer to that one too. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed part 3 of this 4-part video presentation. If you liked it, please click the thumbs up button and share this video with your friends so that they can enjoy it too. As a matter of fact, if you are a member of any community in which this video would be relevant, it would help this channel a lot if you shared it there as well. And if you haven't already done so, please remember to subscribe to this channel and to hit the bell icon so as to receive notification of videos that I upload to this channel in the future. Until next time, see ya!